I spent $153 on some pointe shoes. Am I proud of my actions? No. Do I regret them? I'm not sure yet, to be honest. Hey everybody, it's your girl Jasmine, coming at ya. If you guessed it, another ballet video. Today I will be reviewing the So Danca Elektra. I left it in the bag because this bag is super chic and cute, and the whole packaging, everything was really cute. So I thought I'd do a little mini unboxing kind of thing. So this is the dance little bag it comes with. And this is the box, very fancy. And there's the shoe, look at it, there it is. These are them. They're very, 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 I would say, unique in their design. So right away, you'll see this inside material is vegan leather or pleather or something. So it's completely lined even on the inside. The satin is really nice, very high quality satin. But you will also notice that there is no drawstring. So that was one of the first things that I noticed. I was like, there's no drawstring. It's just kind of got this, it is elastic or something, but it does stretch a little bit. So when you put it on your foot, it holds onto it as if there was elastic. So there's I think elastic maybe in the material or something, but there is no drawstring. The make of this shoe is unlike any other shoe because it's plastic on the inside. So I don't think it's the same plastic that a gainer uses, but at first I was thinking oh, that must be really similar to a gainer shoe. But spoiler alert, this is nothing like a gainer. So I have used gainers before, and this is nothing like a gainer. For one, it's also not pre-arched. So if anyone's ever used gainers, you'll notice that gainers are already kind of arched, but this is not. Watch this magic. The shank comes out. Bam! What? Yeah, the shank comes out and it goes back in. And that blew my mind at first. I was like, what? Because you can actually have different strengths and different lengths of vamp. So I'm gonna get into my pros and my cons. The pros, it has a plastic shank, and the lady at the store told me that they're supposed to not die, or AKA last a long time, last way longer than a traditional shoe. But yeah, so I am really curious to see how this plastic or whatever is in this shoe technology compares to the gainer and what the life expectancy is like. This material in here is supposed to help with moisture control, which is great because obviously when we're dancing our feet are getting really sweaty and it's gross, and so this will help with that. So special material. They're very versatile in that fact that you can change the length and the strength of your shank. So for instance, the shank that I got, where's the little shank box? But the shanks, so you get one pair of shanks with your shoe. So the shanks go kind of by the length of the shoe, of course, so 4 to 5.5, I'm in that range. And then it's flex 1, looks like this, 1, 4.5. And then there was flex 2, flex 3, maybe this is the softest one. Oh yeah, so I didn't even finish going through what came in this fancy box. So because they're new, I got several other things. They came with free pair of tights. I thought that was cool. So a lot of things come with the shoe. So you get your shoes in the box, and then I took them out, but they come with elastics, not pre-sewn. They actually come with enough to crisscross. This would be one shoe, but I don't crisscross my elastics. I just use one at the end. Oh, I actually have 2 extra, but those come with shoes. So elastics come with the shoes, and then if you go get these at your local dance store that sells them, right now, they'll give you a free pair of tights. They also gave me this cute little Band-Aid case that says So Danca on it. So cute. They're just really promoting the shoe because it's new. This comes with it. It's a little thing for your phone. little, like, they're called pop sockets? I don't know. But you like put it on your phone with your hand, or whatever. And then these come with them. So this was really cool. This is the ring. So, the ring. And they're like elastic bands that go around your foot. Let me put this on my foot. You just put it like where your arch and the shoe meet. So you can put it on two different ways. You can put it on over the whole thing. But I think what I'll try right now is you can also just kind of pull this part back and like pull it and put it like this. So you have like, actually it looks like there's a little pocket. Actually, yeah, look. Oh, there's, okay. So there is so that part is actually a pocket. I don't know if you can tell that it's double. It's like, you see, I can put my finger in it. Don't focus on my face. Okay, so that is how you would put, I'm assuming, like your shank into it so that it holds onto your shank. So I'm gonna slide this, and it looks like it is perfectly sized to do that. So, I've got, my shank is like in there, and it's like on this thing. So now it's like part of the shoe. So, let me back up here. You put your foot through the ring, and it helps the shoe like stick to your foot better, like so. Can you see it? Am I doing a good job? I don't know. But like, this is the ring part, and then this is the regular elastic. Back to the pros. The very first pair that I tried on, I had no toe pads, and they just feel like a slipper, like a slightly hard slipper. I've never worn a demi-pointe shoe, but I imagine that that's what a demi-pointe shoe would feel like a shankless, just box only kind of point shoe. But they're just really soft and like plush on the inside, and they're not like, it's not squishy, it's just kind of like, just really comfortable. But yeah, so they're comfortable. Who doesn't like a comfortable pair of pointe shoes? And they're quiet. So, like, I know you can hear that. I'm tapping on this part. So I normally wear, yeah. This is a shoe that I've been wearing for a while, and it's still like a little bit louder, but I've like, this is like as quiet as those are ever gonna be. I will put on as a pro. So they are really beautiful, and I don't know if you can see, but there is no like seam. So most shoes have this kind of seam that like connects the two pieces of satin. This has none. So it gives it a very like uniform, like streamlined look, very like simplistic. So I like it. So I just like the way they sewed it. And also this heel, it's like hugs your heel. Like I was able to wear these with no ribbons and no elastics, and the heel was like not coming off, and I could kind of like roll through. It's like, and it kind of like dips in. I don't know if you can tell. When you're on point, you can tell, but it like dips in so that like it doesn't have that bagginess. Like, I don't know, the design is great. And then my last pro, which is a pro for me, I don't know if it's gonna be a pro for everybody, but the platform is nice and wide. Use Russian points, and what I love about Russian points, and what I have heard other people say they hate about Russian points, is like how flat and like wide. I wear a Russian Reuben. This platform is just like so, I think it's nice. It's like stable, and you can tell when you're off, you can tell when you're on. It's the same thing with these. Like, it's so flat and like defined, and I love that. So I always used to say I wish they would just make like a Russian point and a gainer and like mix them together, and a shoe that like the box felt like a Russian, but it had a plastic shank like a gainer, and it would last forever, and that would be my perfect shoe. And then I saw this, and I really looked at the shape, and I was like, that kind of looks like, the shape is very similar. Look at that. The shape of the box is so similar to my Russian. So I love this box, like this platform. So I love this part. It's very stable. I like that just because I really like to feel whether or not I'm like wobbling and where I'm going. But that's maybe just because I suck. So, oh god. But yeah, so those are my pros. I think that's everything for the pros. Beautiful, well-made, comfortable, quiet, plastic, cool, versatile shank. I'm all for like trying new things and like new technology. There are a few cons. These are $153. That's the first con. Pointe shoes are already expensive, except most other pointe shoes will die. This is supposed to not die. Will it not die? I don't know. But if it doesn't, then $153 for a year, if I can make this last a year, like, I think that would be worth it. A year or even more. I would say this is one of the biggest cons. These are really hard to sew. This took me maybe 30 minutes to sew one elastic. It's because this pleather material that like is supposed to be good for moisture is also really thick. It's really thick and really hard to like push your needle through. I was using a thick needle because I always use a thick needle, but then I saw like a video and someone was saying if it's a thicker shoe, you should use a thinner needle. So maybe if you try a thinner needle, that might help. I don't know, don't quote me, but I will show you how I did it. The lady knew too, like Sarah at the dance store, she kind of gave me a heads up. She's like, yeah, like people are saying they're hard to sew. So like there's like these little tiny holes. If you try to put your needle through, it will kind of help you. Kind of. Okay, so I wrote this down, and I don't know if it's just because my feet suck. Like, I don't have archy feet at all. Like, my foot is just barely, I would say barely worthy of like it just barely like curves a little bit. So I don't have really archy feet, and the one thing I noticed after I started kind of like using them is, I don't know if it's just me, or I don't know if this is like every shoe, or if I'm just noticing it with this one. I don't know. I'm having trouble getting over on the box all the time, and I think it's because this angle, I don't know if you can see, it's not a right angle. It's kind of like an acute angle. So when you're balancing, you're actually perfectly balanced when it's slightly like this, which means your foot would have to curve. Does that make sense? Like if your foot is more straight and if this was more right angle, then this is where it would be like pushed back a little bit, which is, okay, so do you see how this is my Russian and it's a right angle? Don't focus on my face. Don't focus on my face. It's a right angle. And then this one is slightly like acute. It's slightly more like leaning back. So I feel like when you have that nice arch and a nice banana foot, you'll have no problem getting here. But for me, I just have to like really fucking break my foot. But so I put that as a con because is this like, maybe it's more suited for people with that kind of foot. I guess it's just a personal con. Like, I have shitty feet, so maybe this shoe isn't as good for me as I thought it was. But we'll see how it is. I feel like if it's anything like a gainer, that the more you wear it and the warmer your foot is, like the plastic will soften up and then I'll just be able to like push over. But yeah, so maybe if you have really archy feet, this might be a shoe that you might want to consider because it looks like it might be better designed for people with archy feet. Another con that I put is that it's not widely available. So I got lucky and the store that I went to is literally like 15 minutes away from my house in Monrovia, here in California. Wonderful, sunny California. If you go on the So Danca website, there is like I think a whole page that's like Elektra. You click on it and there's like you can find which stores in your state have the shoe. So I put that as a con because there weren't that many stores. So in California there was 3, but you might live in a state where there's only 1 and you have to drive an hour or 2 hours to go try this shoe on. So I put that as a con. There is one more con before I forget. So I don't know, once again, I don't know if it's just my foot. I love a really good roll through, and these, I don't know, I think it's because my foot needs to like warm them up, but sometimes like it feels like a brand new Russian point, and if you've ever, it's like a brand new shoe, so it's really hard. So I think the heat just needs to like warm up the box a little bit to get a more comfortable roll through. But the roll through, especially because my left foot is a little bit bigger, was just not as comfortable. Let's get into how I sewed these because they are really hard to sew. This fabric is just so thick, which is nice, it's comfortable, but yeah.
So I've decided it's better if I just voice over and walk you guys through what I do. So you're gonna need a bottle cap and some pliers, and you just take your needle and you're gonna kind of like wiggle it in and till it starts like piercing the other side, like you can barely see it. Then you take your bottle cap and you're gonna use that to like push the needle through. You can definitely use a thimble here. I just don't have a thimble, so I used a bottle cap, and I used like the inside edge to like get a good grip on the needle and push it through. And then when it's through to the other side, you just take your pliers and you pull it on through. I do recommend the pliers because it is hard to pull through, so you'll hurt your fingers if you just use your fingers. I'm gonna do it one more time. So you take your needle and you're going to wiggle it on through until it starts poking through the other side, like so. And then you take your bottle cap or your thimble or any hard surface. You can also turn your shoe over and like use a table, but you're gonna need something besides your finger to push the needle through, and then you grab your pliers and you just pull it on through. And then you would continue using this kind of method to just sew your shoes however you normally sew them.
So anyways, that's it for today. As far as like first impressions of the So Danca Elektra, I'm excited, so we will see how these work out in class. But yeah, thanks for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this or other videos, or if you have ideas for videos, put them in the comments. I don't know. My battery's gonna die, so I gotta go. Bye guys!